The meeting will please come to order. Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, September the 19th. My name is Trippy Congo, President of Wilmington City Council, and on behalf of all of my colleagues, I would just like to thank everyone who has joined us in council chambers, and also those of you who are with us virtually. We will have our opening prayer by Akira Granado.
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just as a public announcement, the resolution approving the acceptance by the Department of Land Use and Planning grant fund from Delaware 250 to support the research regarding Caesar Rodney is being withdrawn this evening. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Harlee, Councilwoman Fields,
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy, Councilman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Field,
Present.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Present.
Councilman Mills,
Present.
Councilman Spadola, Councilwoman Bracy,
Present.
President Congo.
Here, and also, I think that I saw Councilmember Darby's hand raised.
You did.
Okay.
She is. She's present.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. President.
thank you. At this time, we will have the
I'm
reading
sorry.
of the minutes.
That's 9 present and 4 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll have the reading of the minutes from our previous meeting.
September 5th, 2024, City Council met in regular session with remote participation, the above date, 6:35 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Akira Granado, Deputy
Mr.
City
President, I move the minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The minutes be accepted as written on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will have our committee reports.
September 3rd, 2024, ladies and gentlemen. We, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, met by anchor location remote participation to was referred ordinance number 24047 entitled, an ordinance to authorize and approve a license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental Systems Research, Inc. I've given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harlee, Councilwoman Bracy, Councilman Spadola, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Nathan Field, and Councilwoman Oliver.
Mr.
At
President,
this time, I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
September 3rd, 2024, we, your Finance and Economic Development Committee, met by anchor location remote participation to was referred ordinance number 24048 entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 37 of the City Code relating to the collection of parking fines. Have given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Harlee, Councilwoman Bracy, Councilman Spadola, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Nathan Field, and Councilwoman Oliver.
At this time, I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The committee report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Also, as a quick announcement, for anyone who is with us virtually, there is a Google Form sign-up link in the chat for anyone who would like to give public comment. And that would take place after non-legislative business. At this time, we'll have our city treasurer's report.
September 19, 2024, total investment, $529,640,427.74. Total cash on hand, $15,806,497.55. Grand total, $544,446,925.29. Submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
Mr. President, I move the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second the report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I will accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved. Second.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to accept all non-legislative business. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will have our recognition resolutions. Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would like to have Alicia Domínguez and Erika Gutiérrez, if she's here, to come forward. As many know, we have just launched September 15th, Hispanic Heritage Month. We have Miss Maria Matos in the house. We had a wonderful kickoff at the Latin American Community Center to get us started for the month, right up here. And as we recognize the different groups and contributions that folks have made in our community and beyond, for me, one of the things following something that the president did in recognizing some of our unsung heroes in the community is to bring forth during Hispanic Heritage Month members of our community, the people that work behind the scenes that sometimes go unnoticed, that do so much to contribute to our community. And one of those people here with us today is Alicia Domínguez, who was so nervous about being here, and last year we missed it. So she's actually we recognized her last year, but she's coming here formally to get her recognition. And Erika Gutiérrez, who I hope gets here before we read these, also wanted to recognize her for all the work they have done. So I will read this resolution. And this was sponsored by all of City Council. Whereas Councilmember Maria D. Cabrera is honored to present this resolution in recognition of National Hispanic Heritage Month and the integral roles of the Latin American community in our city and beyond. This year, we would like to recognize the following community members who work diligently behind the scenes to positively impact the lives of Latinos in the city of Wilmington and the state of Delaware. One such individual is Alicia Domínguez. Whereas Hispanic Americans are the largest minority group in America, National Hispanic Heritage Month is an occasion where history and accomplishments are commemorated through concerts, parades, food fairs, and more. Each year, September 15th marks the first day of the National Hispanic Heritage Month in honor of the anniversaries of independence for Latin American countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. And whereas the Council of the City of Wilmington is pleased to observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th and encourages all residents to participate in programs and activities that celebrate and honor the essential role of Latinos in the economy, politics, culture, and in the fabric of this nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that this legislative body recognizes the celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th, 2024, commends the individuals and named herein for their service, and honors the past and present contributions of Latinos locally in the state of Delaware and throughout the United States. So at this time, I'm going to have Alicia come up and say a few words. Just want to say that I remember working with her, boots on the ground, so many years ago when there was issues of immigration in the community, working with our immigrant community. She's been a volunteer at St. Paul's, and just watched her through her life, give selflessly to the community. I was so happy to find out that she's over at the Latin American Community Center at 3rd and Harrison, And we have formed a wonderful partnership as we're working together with Councilmember Brigida Fields and the Land Bank to really help stabilize that neighborhood in the Lower Hilltop. And we have made great efforts. And Alicia is one of those partners in the LACC that has helped us do so. So at this time, Alicia, if you could say a few words.
Don't be shy either.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here and for this recognition. I am honored to be here. Thank you very much to the City of Wilmington council members, and a special thanks to you, Maria Cabrera, for this recognition. I am thankful for the opportunity in the community to help others. I have been actively involved in doing my best to assist others, regardless of my role. I currently work at the Latin American Community Center, where we truly strive to empower the Latino community through education, advocacy, and partnerships and exceptional services, which that is our mission. With a variety of services such as ESL, early childhood services, food closets, support for victims of crime and domestic violence, as well as financial literacy, just to name a few. Working hand in hand with community partners and the City of Wilmington and other agencies, and creating strong partnerships with council members Maria Cabrera and Brigida and the Land Bank. We have been working hard to engage the community and transform our neighborhoods, and will continue to do so. It's not about receiving a recognition, but serving in the community. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
Also, by the way of other recognitions, Councilmember Cabrera will recognize the 1000 Block Beautification Committee and Worship Ministry, Luceros de Alba. That will happen at a later date. Also from Councilmember Cabrera, she would like to recognize IndiaFest 2024 on their 40th anniversary. From Councilmember Brigida Fields, she would like to recognize Canaan Baptist Church on their 20th anniversary. And from Councilmember Harlee, who did ask to be excused this evening, she would like to recognize Dr. Celeste F. Washington. And then as far as sympathy resolutions from all of council, we would like to recognize a sympathy resolution for one of our colleagues' father. Sympathy resolution for Sudhir Kumar Bhatnagar. And also from Councilmember Harlee, a sympathy resolution for Juanita Shockley-Le'Mon. At this time, I would like to recognize Councilmember Oliver.
So noted.
At this time, we will move to public comment. We're going to begin with Deacon Earl Tate. Again, just as a friendly reminder, you have 3 minutes for public comment. Once you get to around 30 seconds left, I will give you a friendly reminder. Please begin to wrap up your comments. Also, please introduce yourself once you get to the podium, and be careful when you reach the podium. There's a little step. Thank you for joining us.
Greetings. My name is Deacon Earl E. Tate II, who's never late because he don't want to lose his pair of roller skates. And I like to say, I hope everybody's happy for their election because it was a big election. Although it was the primary election, it still is a big election, and we can't get past the big election, and we can't go to the next election without going through this election. And all of those that didn't vote, hey, I don't want to hear nothing. The only thing I want to see you do is get registered to vote. Those of you who are not registered, get registered to vote and get out here and vote in this next election, because this next election is the big election. whether we look at it or not, you got to take the bullet or the ballot. Which one shall it be? Because our ancestors fought so hard for us to have the right to vote. So get up off your seat and get out here and make your voices be heard. And also I like to talk to those of us that are planning things and everything all around the place. Hey, you have good ideas, but you go at these ideas and you don't listen to the people. You got to listen to the people, and you got to hear what the people say, because those of us that plan things on the highways and all, we got to remember, we got the trucks, the city buses, the school buses, the people on the bikes, and the people that catch the bus, and the children that catch the school buses, and the trucks that park out, that deliver things to the stores in certain areas. We got to remember all of that, because if you don't, you only hurting yourself as well as others, because this generation.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
This generation is a generation that really looks up to us. So we got to take action, and we got to do things the right way.
Thank you. Next, we have Tony Dunn. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Dunn. Please remember to introduce yourself before you begin your comments.
Tony Dunn, Civic Association President of the 2500 Second District. Council members, congratulations for those of you who are going to still be here with us 2025 and beyond. And those that participated with coming out to the community, letting us know what you're going to be doing for the people in the community. My main objective this year coming, the council people, we need your help with dealing with the NPC, Neighborhood Planning Council. I've been working very diligent with this organization, trying to get them to be transparent with our community, trying to help civic associations look beyond the borders. I see a lot of things going on in other civic association areas, other districts, and I believe that the second district should be entitled to those same things. I thank council for helping with some things such as parks and things of that nature, but we get the parks, but then we can't do anything with them. They're in our community barren. So I would hope that the council people will come together and help the second district get things together and mobilize and change the behavior of these organizations that was appointed by the cities to help neighborhoods and communities come together and be supportive for one another. The city of Wilmington is nothing like it was when I was growing up. We used to have things that we didn't have to go outside of our community for, like grocery stores, like clothing stores, schools. These things have been stripped from our communities. We need them back. We need to have stores like Atlantic Thrift, Pantry Pride for some of you who are my age. Know that when we had it in our community, we were able to keep that income coming into our community. Everything we do now, we have to go outside of our community and outside of the city to purchase. That needs to change, and city council could help with that if they join together with the civic associations. So please help us change the behavior of those in the NPC. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that concludes public comment for everyone who is in here with us in council chambers. Virtually, we have Ms. Lavita Owens-White. Yes, Ms. White, if you can please raise your hand so that oh, she's with us in council chambers. Right. Thank you for joining us. Please be careful when you come to the podium, and please remember to introduce yourself.
Mr. President, council members, thank you very much for this opportunity to come before you. I wanted to speak about Peace Week, Delaware. Peace Week, Delaware is occurring October the 19th through the 27th, and I've come before you to ask for your support in making this a successful event for our city. Peace Week, Delaware has been operating for since 2014, 2011. I am with the Movement for a Culture of Peace, and it eventually evolved into Peace Week Delaware. I am from the 1st District Neighborhood Planning Council. I am part of the Wilmington Health Planning Council. I've been working in this city since Hitler was a pup, and I continue to work for the peace of our communities. Some time ago, recently, Councilwoman Oliver had a event in the park about the violence that's occurring among our young women. It's happening all over the city. It's happening all over the county. It's happening throughout the state of Delaware. Our whole society is a victim of spiritual disease. We need a moment where we can come together, and this is where I'm asking this council. Is it any way possible that we could look at the model, the city model for a nonviolent city? Is there any way we could take a look at the model that Carbondale, Illinois has given to us? There are some 49 cities across the United States that have invested in nonviolent cities. Is it possible that this city council, our police department, our neighborhood planning councils, can we all get together and come up with a plan for Wilmington? We can't just bemoan the fact that all this violence is occurring. Beside Peace Week Delaware, we have to do something proactively, and we cannot do it as a silo. We have to do it collectively, all of us working together, which is the theme of Peace Week Delaware. We're in this together. We need to work together. I am proposing for October the 19th
30 seconds.
that we have Rodney Square as a venue for a faith and health connection to provide our community with health and some mental health resources. Thank you very much.
Thank you. WITN, do we have anyone who signed up virtually for public comment? All right, thank you. At this time, we will move to legislative business. Councilmember Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an ordinance to present on your behalf, and call for the third and final reading.
Are you presenting Agenda
Yeah.
0472?
24, somebody put the wrong information here. Ordinance 240472.
Yes.
Ordinance being presented by the administration for council's review.
Yes, that's actually your legislation.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 24047, Agenda 0472, an ordinance to authorize and approve a license agreement between the City of Wilmington and Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc.
Mr. President, I move this be known for the enacting clause on the ordinance and call for a yea, no vote.
Second.
This is the
It's
wrong
been,
piece of it.
it's been properly moved and second, that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance, and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, this ordinance is being presented by the administration for review and approval. This ordinance authorizes the city to enter into a lease agreement with an Environmental System Research Institute for access to software to apply geographical information system technology to many operational technical areas within the city, period, for 3 years from September the 22nd, 2024 through September 2021, 2027.
All right, and seeing no hands raised. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera. Off the floor. Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes,
9 yeas and 4 absent.
declared adopted. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, Mr. President, I have an ordinance and call for the first and second reading. Yes.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
Ordinance 24051, Agenda 0476, an ordinance to establish a temporary moratorium on the former position classification biannual appeals process.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to establish a temporary moratorium on the formal position classification biannual appeals process.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the first and second reading and the ordinance referred to the Finance Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second, that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance, and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
And Mr. President, I have another ordinance and call for first and second reading.
Ordinance 24052, Agenda 0477, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the city's general obligation bonds and general obligation bonds anticipation note in order to provide the funds necessary to finance various capital projects specified in the city's fiscal year 2022 and 2024 capital budgets, providing for the sale of the bonds and the ban, and authorizing other necessary action.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of the city's general obligation bonds and general obligation bond anticipation note in order to provide the funds necessary to finance various capital projects specified in the city's fiscal year 2022 and 2024 capital budgets, providing for the sale of the bonds and the ban, and authorizing other necessary action.
Mr. President, I move.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the first and second reading and ordinance referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second, that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance, and referred to the Finance and Economic Development Committee.
I move that second.
I'm sorry. We're going to move to, we're going to come back to Councilmember Cabrera.
Oh, okay.
She's not on the floor. I'm going to go to Councilmember Bracy.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present on your behalf and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24039, Agenda 0460, an ordinance to approve and authorize an extension of the franchise agreement between Comcast of Newcastle County, LLC, and the City of Wilmington.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for the yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second, that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance, and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Okay, this ordinance authorizes the city to enter into an extension of the franchise agreement with Comcast of Newcastle County
that provides Comcast of Newcastle County with a 5-year non-exclusive franchise to construct, install, maintain, and operate a cable system in the city. And, Mr. President, as this is your legislation, I'll defer to you.
Thank you, Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, this is a piece of ordinance that during committee, I actually voiced some concern, or during the process when it was going forward, when it was on the floor last time. And to Council President's credit, and I appreciate our staff, I was able to learn more about this. I'm not on the cable committee, so I was able to learn about what this is. I had some concerns about, obviously, our ratepayers, or Comcast ratepayers, and then also about exclusive territory. This agreement does not give Comcast an exclusive right, so that was one important thing to me. Verizon actually is able, and other companies are able to come into Wilmington. And then I subsequently had conversations with Comcast, also the legal team, as well as City Council, General Counsel. So I have done my homework on this, as I do with any big piece of legislation that I'm presented with, and I am pleased and satisfied. I think our council explained everything, explained the educational funding, and that was important to Council President. The PEG funding he'll probably talk about. And overall, it just continues to keep the internet essentials to our low income residents, and that's important. So I just wanted to say what this is, okay, so that it's clear what this is not. This does not give Comcast exclusive rights to Wilmington. And I know, Council President, this is something we've talked about going forward. How do we get Verizon and other competitors in the city? It's a big problem. It's something, again, the Cable Commission, I know, is going to be looking at. So I appreciate this. I will be supporting tonight, and look forward to the continued educational services that Comcast will be helping us with.
All right, thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes,
10 yeas and 3 absent.
declared adopted. Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes, Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24048, Agenda 0471, an ordinance to amend Chapter 37 relating to the collection of parking fines.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second, that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance, and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Thank you, Mr. President. What this legislation tends to do as part of the overall parking reform that we, the community, and the administration has been working on for the last few years, this is going to delete the 3-month time limitation when a person enters into a payment plan. They can have an extended period of time. It allows for a vehicle that has been impounded to be released with 50% of the fine paid versus the full amount, and they can get into an extended payment plan that goes beyond the 3 months. It requires that outstanding civil penalties and fees imposed under this chapter be voided when pursuant to a state-authorized process, title to a vehicle that has been impounded is transferred to the towing or storage contractor, or the towing or storage contractor obtains the authority to dispose of the vehicle. We clarify that the appeals related to immobilization and towing will be heard by a hearing officer employed or contracted by the city in accordance with the regulations adopted by the Department of Finance. So basically, this allows people to get their vehicles back. They need to be able to get to work, get their children to school, and not having to pay the full fine or to continue to owe fines after. If their vehicle has been impounded, they should not be responsible for those fees past that.
Councilmember Darby, Is your hand raised?
Yes, no, thank you. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor to this piece of legislation. And I just want to say that this was a result of a lawsuit that the city had against them for their predatory ways of dealing with fees and fines and related to the towing practices for the city. So I'm so glad that the city administration is starting, and they had to be forced to, but starting to move towards a more equitable way of dealing with towing and parking in the city, and being able to implement these things. That I know that the community over the last, before I even was on city council, Ken Grant and all the other organizations and groups who have been pushing the administration and pushing city council to do the right thing in regards to predatory practices around towing. So add me as a co-sponsor. I'm in support of it. I'm glad that it's happening and to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I would also like to be a co-sponsor of this legislation, and I do know that Councilman Cabrera and some other people, as well as their session, along with yourself, has been working on some of this legislation regarding towing. And I'd just like to give Maria Cabrera her kudos for working with many people outside the administration and listen to all of our constituents. And I just think it's a good piece of legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson?
Again, just reiterating what this is a step in the right direction. I think we still have a lot of corrections to do, especially looking at night and weekend parking. I know that's one thing that is on the top of, I know, council's mind. So, you know, again, this settles part of a legal dispute, but there's ongoing things we need to work on. And what I do look at as the cost of even litigation, the cost of lost work hours for people who have their car towed, it adds up. So again, we're just trying to make sure people can get to work, get to where they need to go, and they're also responsible for paying their bills. So you know, I appreciate this and look forward to more reforms as council is always on the job on this. So thank you very much, Councilwoman, for not giving up on this.
Thank you. I would also like to be added as a co-sponsor, and seeing no other hands. Council member Cabrera, any closing statements?
No, I hope that we continue to look at the parking practices and to make the city of Wilmington a user-friendly city. As you know, this council recently voted to amend the parking, and people who pay within 14 days will only have to pay $25. I'm hoping that as much as we don't want people to get penalized, that folks will be careful where they park, what they do, but to also make it affordable when we do have those moments, to be able to pay 25. If you know, there's really no reason, if anyone has a parking fine and you can't afford to pay it, please call the city. We'll work with you. It shouldn't get to the point that your car gets impounded. And the city is trying to be more flexible for all the work that the community has done. The administration has been willing to listen, and for the things that have happened in the past. Unfortunately, we are presenting legislation on this council to change that trajectory. And as we see more things that need to be changed, I trust that my council colleagues and myself will continue to work to make the city of Wilmington user-friendly and, you know, for people who, you know, to not be penalized to the point that they are experiencing a hardship and not having their vehicle. So thank you to my colleagues and to everyone for working together on making this happen, and to the administration for being flexible enough to do it in spite of everything. That's it.
Thank you. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby? Councilwoman Darby?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
10 yeas and 3 absent.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, can I please be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. Councilmember Gutiérrez Fields asked to be excused.
Noted.
Mr. President, I will be withdrawing agenda item number 478 this evening.
Okay, thank you.
I will also be holding agenda item number 47 this evening.
Okay, thank you. And that does conclude legislative business. At this time, we will move to petitions and communication. Councilmember White.
None at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Darby.
Not at this time. May I please be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Councilmember Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to congratulate all the individuals who won their election, and I'd like to also give homage to the individuals who represented the city of Wilmington in their seats and did not be, or not reelected, but they did serve the citizens of the city of Wilmington. I would like to, I had a whole list and I left the envelope home. Can you believe it? I'm getting old. But I would like to thank Logan Heron and the warehouse in Kingswood for their opening first school day. I would like to thank Aaron Bass for the opening, and he had some kids who were able to receive haircuts, book bags, etc. Dr. Williams down to Stubbs School and Mr. Boone, and for doing similar the first day of school, giving out book bags and sneakers, and especially Dr. A down to Bancroft School, your cousin, Mr. Graham, all of them who did a great job down to Bancroft, Mr. Pritchett Academy. The first day, it was over like 50, 60 people down there just greeting everybody, and Miss Pritchett and the family, and it was very warm, welcoming down to Pritchett Academy, and it was overwhelming to see the people who came out to support that school. For the kids, but along for the naming of Pritchett Academy. And also, Mr. President, I would like to give you credit for, doing a fairly good job. We're putting up with so many personalities for the last session and going into a new session. I hope and pray that it's, a little better, but I'm not going to say we did bad because we were able to make some milestones in the budget, especially one that that really sticks out for me is Black Restaurant Week. I saw the flyer today and I called Chris up, and I was just overwhelmed that it said the city of Wilmington for Black Restaurant Week, and I remember you bringing that to the table, and I just wanted to just say everything is good for City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Yes, I just wanted to make an announcement for next weekend. We have Picnic on the Parkway, which is a collaboration between actually the 7th and the 6th District. It is Saturday the 28th at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Something Councilwoman McCoy and I have been working on is trying to get civic associations to work together. So it's the Bayard Square Civic Association working with Union Park Gardens. They're basically having a party, and for the community, there's going to be Taco Hardin. We're going to have Fusco Water Ice and games, bounce house, a lot of entertainment. And last but not least, our own Councilman Spadola will be performing, as well as other music acts. So it'll be a good time. Please come out. Again, it's free to the public. It's a time for us to, again, share ideas, share community. You don't have to just be from the west side. You can be from the east side, anywhere. Please come out and enjoy the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Field.
Nothing to add, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes, first I want to congratulate the members of the community that came together to celebrate the Hispanic Festival in Wilmington. This year was a little different. It was done on Saturday, but it was a big parade. In spite, a lot of people were out there. A lot of the businesses were being visited. So it was great. We definitely want to look at moving it back to the park. but the Fiesta Calle Cuatro was a great success. So thanks to all who came out, to the organizers of the festival, Maria Perez, India, Colon, and all the volunteers that make that event happen, and all the sponsors. In addition, our Hispanic newspaper, Hoy in Delaware, which covers the whole state of Delaware, also did their festival at Rockford Park this year for the first time. It was a beautiful venue. Certainly, we'd like to see more events there, and they hope to return there. That was also equally well attended, and we thank the organizers of those events for keeping the heritage and the history going, and bringing people to learn about our food, music, and history. This Saturday, the Roberto Clemente League is doing an event at Woodlawn Park from 1 to 4 p.m. So they are having a salsa concert in the park, Salsa in the Park. So we invite everyone in the community to come out, support our little league that has teams for both the boys and the girls, all different ages. So that is this Saturday. We also have the AIDS Walk, where our one council will be walking together in the morning at Brandywine Park. So we're going to be out there if you want to come out and join us and walk with us at Brandywine Park at 10 a.m. And I know there's so many other conflicting events happening the 21st, but those are the ones that I have that I can speak freely on, and that'll be it, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Mills.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bracy.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. All right. I'd just like to just follow up on a little bit of Councilmember Oliver's public comment about the Black Restaurant Week, which is going to start on Sunday, September 29th, and run through that following Saturday, October the 5th. It's our second annual. Definitely want to thank Ayana Khan and her team at the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce for helping us to coordinate this event. I want to thank all of my council colleagues and the administration for making this our second annual.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be a lot of restaurants who are participating. There's going to be a bar crawl. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of ribbon cuttings from new restaurants who are opening up in our city and surrounding areas. So again, if you like to be involved, if you want any more information, you can go to the website at WILM, W-I-L-M, at BRW, which is blackrestaurantweek.com. Or you can call us at City Council at 302-576-2140. Again, our number is 302-576-2140. I would like to thank everyone who joined us in council chambers and also virtually. If you ever want to be a part of our council meetings, again, they are every first and third Thursdays right here in the City County building at 6:30. If you want to be involved or be a part of public comment, just try to get here a little early, sign up either virtually or in council chambers, and you will be able to speak about your concerns. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.